like. So budget, finance, and audit will be meeting pretty quickly, dealing with budget issues. On your first meeting, I'd like you to put on the agenda discussing going back out to bid and then coming back with a recommendation.
Okay.
We should go back out to bid.
Sounds good.
All right. So do we have any?
Is what they missed something that was included in the contract or something that was stated that needed to be done for our specs? Or is that something that just, it's up to them whether they want to do it or not?
Yes and no. You have general accepted auditing standards, and there are certain things that they have to do and other things they can do based upon what they think the risk is of doing it. So, you know, if something happened to us here that they said everything was fine, and then we found out that they glaringly missed something that they probably should have looked at, it's kind of on them. But, you know, like Diane says, there are certain things they should be doing by standards, but then other things it's based on the risk that they look at and where they think is the biggest risk for the district.
And see, that's where it becomes very subjective, auditor by
Right. auditor.
I don't do auditing on a day-to-day basis, nor am I certified. So maybe my opinion doesn't count as much as someone who's certified, but having done audits and doing compliance examinations for a living of cash businesses, I feel that because of the high risk of something happening, and even though it's been a few years and this employee's not with us anymore, we've had instances where we had some thefts in that area, and I feel that it should be examined.
I mean, they're stuck on my,
That Quicken thing.
they're stuck on the Quicken, they're stuck
I mean,
on my
that's-
scholarship fund, my ADA, and the account, the 055 account,
Yeah.
where it's a generic account where I put all my deposits in, for the
Deposits.
building deposits, so I can give it back really quick. They're stuck on those three things,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Well, that's why I suggest that first time you meet, you discuss with the committee, come back with what you think you gotta do. So, any other questions for Diane? Since we need a motion.
I have a clarification.
Sure.
And in noticing the documents that were included in the board packet, I'm a little confused on process, I guess. On June 30th, there was something submitted saying that there were 3 areas that we were deficient in. And then on November 4th, it kind of highlights one of the aspects of that segregation of duties. And then on November 19th, Chuck's responding to the original, the June 4th, or the June 30th, about the accounting system, the required vacation, and the scholarship funds. So I'm kind of unclear on the process, and were those things addressed in last year's audit, or those things that they're still looking for us to clean up or?
The segregation of duties, because of the size of the district, it would be, it's come up in every audit, and it will come up in every audit for organizations of this size. Because it would cost more to hire the person that would be needed to ensure internal controls, but they have to mention it in their report. But it's nothing that, you know, it's not saying that someone is doing something wrong, but it would be nice for a check and balance that 2 sets of eyes look at the transactions that they feel that need to be looked at. Usually it's payroll and the expenditures, and then revenue intake is usually the big areas that they look at, and they should be looking at ensuring that the deposits are made in a timely and reasonable manner and whatnot. And they should be questioning staff if they believe documents aren't being moved in an appropriate manner. It should be, especially the material nature, like payroll and sort of major expenditure. Why didn't that happen? Or maybe a contract for payment, how come that wasn't deposited in a timely manner with the county treasury? That's what I would expect.
I see Chuck's responses here.
But, I mean, they're reasonable, and he didn't have them at the time because he was on bereavement leave, so that's why that wasn't prepared at that point in time. But, so there's something there, the vacation requirement, that's what they feel would be a weakness. Yes, it would be ideal that we would have someone go on at least a week or a 2-week vacation, at least annually, so another set of eyes is doing the process, and usually that is a time that if something were to happen or be discovered, and it's usually when it happens or when the person leaves and a new person comes in and does the books.
So we're not going to make a move on that and refer that to personnel, we're just going to leave it. Okay. I just want to make sure that
unless personal policies and procedures group strongly believes that all of our staff members in our organization must take a 1-week continuous vacation annually, then
Okay.
Yeah.
I just didn't know the time.
Right, I personally had kind of had a problem with that, because to me, that's up to management to make sure that people take time off. I don't want to put something like that in a policy saying everybody must do this. I mean, I understand where they're coming from.
Yeah, I know where they're coming from.
Yeah, but
we're so small.
Right. So I need a motion to accept the audit.
So moved.
Thank you. All right, I have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstention. Thank you all. Thank you, committee. Or Diana's committee. Next item is item B, resolution 534, amending the 13-14 budget. So just as a clarification, the amount shown on the agenda and on the actual resolution is the correct amount. The amount that was in Chuck's report is not correct. His report was done before the final number was calculated. So just the clarification, the amount shown on the resolution is the correct amount. And again, most likely we're going to have to come back once we know final costs and stuff. So I need a motion to approve resolution 534.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
All right, we have a motion, a second, resolution amending the 2013-14 budget. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstention. Item C under new business is going to be handled under item 12, closed session. So we're going to go ahead and move to item 11, which is payment of the bills. So I had a couple questions.
Okay. You always just do that. Okay.
No.
Go ahead.
So 2851, rec services. The vendor is petty cash, exclamations Christmas. So I'm assuming that was for the Christmas party, just miscellaneous, okay. And you had a couple other petty cash items. One was 2332 and one was 2852 with no explanation of what that was for.
Product business. It's recreation. I should have put just recreation because
Okay.
it's their petty cash that I.
Okay, well, yeah, one was
reimbursed.
food and that was like $60 and the other was $128, so.
Yeah, those are all for the holiday events.
Okay.
The 128, was that for the balloon fest?
No, 200 was that.
No, it was random miscellaneous for the holiday events.
Decorations.
Yeah, decorations and so forth.
Okay. See, Terry does that just to kind
I know you do that.
of check on you. Oh, okay.
What happened?
All right, we just lost our, any other questions?
Dave?
Because Chuck knows all the answers too, so.
Yeah. Hit me with it.
Anyone want to make a motion to ratify payment of the bills?
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Okay. Look at that. Okay, so the next regular meeting of the Board of Directors will be on April 10th, 2014, 6:30 PM, North Highlands Recreation Center. We are now going to take a recess for approximately 5 minutes and go into closed session. Thank you all for coming.